Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Eric, we killed him. It's Kenny. Hey, see, just like Eric, welcome to the show. It is Sports Unfolded, the best sports show anywhere. Sports Unfolded, episode 37 of season 3. I killed Eric, just like the Beatles did to Paul. We bumped him off, and it is Ron and Kenny leading the way on the show today. And I cannot wait because, when the cat's away, the mice play. Oh, yeah, we're going to play today. We're going to play today.
Oh yeah.
Such a great show today. Kenny, how you doing?
I'm doing good. So excited to be here. Woo, I'm just get all the nerves out and I'm ready to go.
That's right. So the big dog is in my chair today, and I am in Eric's chair because we bumped him off, of course, like I said. So we're gonna roll with all of the sports today, and let me tell you, there's a lot to talk about. I mean, a ton. And I guess it's all about the leadoff story, I guess. So, I mean, can the Jets make the playoffs with Zach? Kenny, what do you think about this? I mean, this was stunning, right? First series, Rodgers goes down.
I just can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. They had Super Bowl aspects and now they're gone.
Yeah. So, I'll take credit for it because when he signed when he went to the Jets, okay, it was all this hype. They got the guy that they need to lead, and I said, and I remember Eric asking me the question, "Do you think they can contend for the Super Bowl?" And I said, "No." And he's like, "Well, why not?" And I said, "Well, because it's the Jets, and just bad things happens to the Jets, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got hurt in the first game." I remember
that's true. Yeah.
right? So I'm like,
Yep.
as soon as he went down, I'm like, "Oh, that's not good." and I feel partly responsible in a kind of odd way, but because it. Look, the Jets are cursed. The Jets are cursed.
Yeah.
I mean, this is. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, I did. And do you think they have a shot at even making the playoffs now, Kenny?
Well, let's talk about Zach Wilson. Last week, he came in there 13 down and they won the game. But I don't think that. See, the problem is they need to win 3 more games from last year, more than last year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They need to win 3 more games. Last year, he was 1,688 yards in passing, 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Right.
Yeah. So they need to win 3 more games, and they can get into
the playoff contention.
The playoffs.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
Defense is pretty good, though. Like, I mean, as bad as things happened, and James is here, of course. Thank you, James, for being with us again. And Eric is out there, so at least somebody pretending to be Eric, because we know we bumped him off. Somebody pretending to be Sports Unfolded is out there, and so it's like their defense came through despite what happened, and they rallied, right? The team rallied behind, the situation, especially that defense came through. James, you're right. They need to get a quarterback, but really, who are they going to get? Who are they going to get?
It's too late to get a quarterback.
it's really too late to get a quarterback. Your season's already started. You went through camp. The coach said Zach Wilson had a great camp,
Yeah,
so they have to ride this out.
right. I mean, there really isn't. There's really no choice. I mean,
Yeah.
outside of bringing maybe somebody back from the past. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
who would come back out of retirement, to fill this role? And I'll tell you, it's pretty enticing when you look at that defense, what they did to the Bills. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's pretty enticing, and it could lure somebody out. I mean, it's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
those people that think it's
Come
Tom
back.
Brady, it's not going to be Tom Brady. Nope.
Nope.
So don't
Nope.
even go there.
Not gonna be. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Fitzmagic,
Not gonna.
yes, like Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's an interesting one because I think he can get that offense moving, but the man just throw picks at the wrong time. So I mean,
Yeah.
what do
Yeah.
you do? What do you do if you're the Jets? It's certainly uh, a spot for that franchise to be in. I mean, you thought you solved the problem, and disaster struck. Disaster struck, and now the Jets are left right where they were last year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't see this team being able to get in there. I don't.
Me
I don't think
neither.
it's a contender
I,
anymore.
I, I don't know. The only way, the slim chance, if after surgery he heals up, A Rod gets on the sidelines, gets on that headphone,
Yeah,
and tutor Zach Wilson.
yeah. I mean, that's basically really what they have to look forward to, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
when you think about the division, that Miami team is lurking. Uh,
yeah. Oh yeah,
you gotta
oh yeah.
think that the Bills are going to be okay. You would think that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, me picking the Patriots for the playoffs now does not sound too ridiculous.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and James said it, that defense is just a killer defense,
Yeah,
and they're gonna have to carry this team. But the problem is if Wilson can't, move that offense and stay on the field
yeah,
long enough for the
yeah,
defense to get rest, that's when the numbers pile up. And we've seen it with
yeah.
Patriots. As good as that
Oh
defense
yeah,
was last year, by the end of the season, those points started piling up on them. And you can
yep,
only sustain it
yep,
for so long. So
yeah,
so it'll be
yep,
it'll be interesting. So the Jets aren't the only ones with a quarterback problem, it seems.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
when you look at what some of those teams did last week, it makes you a little worried, especially if you're a Cincinnati or a Buffalo Bill fan. Like,
Mm.
that was pretty abysmal by both. So,
Yeah.
which quarterback do you think needs to improve faster, Kenny? Is it Joe Burrow or is it Josh Allen?
It's Joe Burrow.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah, it's Joe Burrow. Okay, all right. You know why? I tell you right now, because you got a new haircut, and once you get a new haircut, that is
So
traumatic.
all his talent was in
That's
his hair.
that's when you say, oh, I need to produce. He had a terrible game, no touchdowns,
Yeah,
no interceptions, but he had a terrible
yeah,
game.
he did.
I
He generated
I
no
have never,
offense.
no, none at
But
all.
I tend
None
to
at
I
all.
tend to disagree with you though, because
Uh,
even though he didn't get the offense moving, you have to think that that's going to happen, right? But with Buffalo, it was completely different. They had an Aaron Rodgers less Jets team. Okay, he threw the ball all over the place, three interceptions and a fumble. He was just horrible. He looked bad. He looked like a high school
yeah.
quarterback playing against a Super Bowl champion. That's what he looked like. And it was ugly. It was ugly. Nothing was on target. Even some of the passes that weren't picked, and they were not thrown well. and he was just awful.
Yeah.
And I thought he was the reason why the team lost, because if they could have had any kind of time without throwing those interceptions. When you think about 4 turnovers just from him, okay, those turnovers turn to points in a hurry. And let me tell you, if you take one of those scores back, they win the game. Just one. So to me, I think that that's the reason why they lost that game, because of his basically sloppy play.
Yeah.
And I got to think that, Joe Burrow will be fine. Don't forget, he didn't practice much, and they were in Cleveland. So, I mean, Cleveland might have came out and surprised them that they were that good. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And
Just to let you know, Joe.
yeah, James just said that the Browns are legit. Like, I think they have a good team, but I don't think they're Bengals territory. I don't think they're that good. So the Bengals let this one slip away without generating any kind of offense at all. I don't know.
Just to let you know, Joe Burrow's 82 yards in passing.
Yeah, that was pretty awful. It was awful.
Yeah, pretty awful. 82 yards in
82
passing.
yards is
Is it Pop Warner football? Is
pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Is that Pop
But at
Warner
least
football, Ron?
he didn't turn it over though. That's at least there,
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I mean, there's that.
That is true.
Allen has to
It's true.
control
That is true.
those bad passes. Like, he was forcing everything in there. So I don't know. But week 2 is here. The Eagles just defeated the Vikings last night. I got to watch that, and there was a lot of sloppy play in that game as well. I think there was a moment of like 3-minute span where the ball was turned over like a million times.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who really won that game? Was it one team giving it to, was it the Vikings giving it to Philadelphia, or did Philadelphia win that game? Personally, I thought both teams were not very good.
Yeah, they weren't very good at all.
And you got to start worrying about Philadelphia. Even though they're 2-0, it is not a good 2-0.
No.
Because the Patriots gave them game 1 and the Vikings gave them game 2.
Yep.
So I don't know. That's a little questionable to me, and it makes me wonder if they can get back to the Super Bowl. I'm not sure they can.
I'm not sure they can. We shall see.
And the Vikings 0-2.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either.
I didn't see that
I didn't either. I thought they would have won week 1, but that did not happen. James said Philly looks like they are just not clocking or clicking. I mean, they could be clocking. But, there it is. There's the clicking right there.
Clicking.
So they are not clicking, and you're right. Now, could that be because of the offense and defensive coordinators have left, and they got
most definitely.
So hopefully, well, for Philly's sake, that they get better. So week 2, what games of interest do you like out there for this week, Kenny?
I'm excited. First game, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Seahawks versus the Lions.
Seahawks and Lions. Yeah, it's like Seahawks did not play well in week 1.
Nope, they did not.
Lions, however,
woo!
You can't knock that, right?
They played very well.
Yeah.
Very disciplined.
Are they for real?
The defense was great. The offensive great great calls. They they went on fourth down and they made it. They played very, very well.
Yeah, with the upset win over the Super Bowl champions.
Hmm.
So I mean, that's a good start for Detroit. Anytime you start off with a big win in that case, especially when you beat the Super Bowl champion,
Yep.
it does give you momentum. And now with a coach that is a great motivator, I mean, this could really they might have just clinched the division
Yeah.
considering where
Yeah.
Chicago and Minnesota is right now.
Yeah.
So, and okay, so James likes the New England Miami game, and it
Mm.
is it is a big game because
Yep. Huge
the
game for
Patriots
us.
do not want to start 0-2,
No.
and Miami needs to set a tone for the division, right?
Hmm.
So if Miami can win this game, then Miami looks like they're the favorites to win the division.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we're looking right now,
Yep.
because the Bills did not look good. The
No.
Jets are without Rodgers, and if they can beat the Patriots, then that's three teams that are already down a spot. You know,
Mhm.
even though the Jets won, but they're really down because of the loss of Rodgers. So, it's going to come down to really that game is going to set a tone. And, if the Patriots can win that game, that's big. If the
Yeah.
Pats lose that
Huge.
game, as James says, it will leave a lot of questions about the playoff hopes.
Yep. Huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then they'd basically be the worst team in the division at that point, right?
Yeah.
So, and we were talking about the AFC East being possibly one of the best divisions.
Yeah.
Not looking so hot right now, is it?
Nope. Not at all.
Not
Nope.
looking so hot. All
Nope.
right, so I like that game as well, James. But I'm looking forward to that Jets Cowboys game.
Ooh. Okay.
What the Cowboys did to
Really?
the other New York team,
Ooh. Mm.
I mean, basically slapping them across the face and say you are not good,
Mm.
right? I mean, they
Yeah.
just they
Yep.
just smacked them around the field, and now they got the Jets in Dallas. What do you think? I mean, I think this could be a blowout, to be honest with you.
I,
Again,
I do too. I do too. I do too. I do too. I don't think the Jets go into Cowboys and they no. I think
yeah, this has all the makings of a big win again for Dallas,
yep.
and I think the Jets could be coming down from that win,
Yeah.
and they're not going to be. I don't know if they're going to be ready for it. I don't know if they're going to be ready for that, but I'm looking to see how the Jets handle it, because you're looking at the Cowboys as a contender, right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, after what they did to New
Yeah.
York, you have to be thinking that.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that one. What else you got there, Kenny, for games?
Oh, I got Chiefs and Jaguars. Do the Chiefs
Chiefs
go?
and
Oh,
Jags.
do
Yeah,
the
they got Chris
do the
Jones back, right?
yeah? Do the
And
Chiefs
they
go?
got
0-2? You think the
Kelsey.
Chiefs?
Yeah,
You think the Chiefs?
and that's the thing. If the Jags win this game, and let me tell you, they can win the game because
Yes, they
Kansas
can.
City Chiefs did not look good.
Nope. No.
When you have one guy that can catch the ball and he didn't play last week,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you still only have that one guy, but he is a good player to have. I mean, Kelsey in
Yep.
there does change things.
He changed the game.
But those Kansas City receivers were wide open last week, and they couldn't catch the ball.
Couldn't catch the ball.
Drop after drop after drop, especially Tony. He's got to be better. If he's
Yep.
not better, he's going to be riding the bench.
Yep.
So I do like that game. That is a very good one. I also have San Francisco and the Rams.
Oh. Oh.
I'm very interested in that because the Rams with a win last week, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Could they be looking like they were the Super Bowl year? I mean, they Now I predicted a bounce back year.
Mhm.
You know, hoping everybody was healthy, but of course, Cup is, you know,
Yep.
not exactly the healthiest guy in the world.
No.
Um, but you still have some talent there. And look, I mean, we're gonna find out if they're for real this week, right? I mean, you're going up against San Francisco. Brock Purdy did very well. I will spare Eric the Purdy joke, but um, you know, look, he was good. He looked like he did last season, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so I think he might be for real. And I know it was only one game, but it was it was a game, and it did mean something, and it meant a lot for that team to see that. So, did the team make the right decision? We'll find out, right? But
Yeah. We'll find out.
they still look good, and they didn't have Nick Bosa,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so that's another game I'm looking forward to. I like the fact that San Francisco might be in the picture again. So hopefully it's a good game.
Hopefully it's a
You
game. Yeah.
know, um, I mean, I don't really care who wins or loses it, but I just want a good game because I want to watch that game.
Me
Unless
too.
it's unless it's on during a better game. What else you got? You got any others?
No, that's all I'm looking forward to.
So no Ravens, Bengals,
No, that's
no
too easy.
Raiders, Bills.
That's too easy for the Ravens. It's blowout. Ravens blowout.
All right, but I got Browns and Steelers.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Look,
Okay. Uh-huh.
every year it seems like the Pittsburgh Steelers are not counted towards, a playoff contender, right?
Mm-hmm.
But every year, there they are, sticking their nose where it don't belong, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
every year they are
Yes.
they are they are in it till the last game at least of the regular season. And most of the time they're in. Like they were last year. Like nothing changes. They're well coached, and they keep losing players, but they still get next man up kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, Browns will beat Steelers handily or habdily.
Handily.
Handily, as that, there he is with his
Handily. There you
correction.
go.
So, I don't know if that's going to happen. I just, just you can't count Pittsburgh out ever. Ever. They just have a way of making things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Cowboys on upset alert. That's what Eric thinks. Ooh,
Okay. All right, Eric. All right.
I doubt that. There's no way. There's no way I would ever pick the Jets to beat Dallas and Dallas after a game like they just pulled off a win. I think they are going to come down from that high and they are going to fall flat.
Oh yeah.
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. James getting a little upset at his keyboard for making all
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
that's like a tennis player that blames his racket,
Mm.
right, James?
Mm.
Right. So that is week 2. I mean, there's going to be some great games, of course, and hopefully they'll all be good and all the results that I want. That's what I'm hoping.
Me too.
So remember when I was saying when the cat's away, the mice will play? So we're going to play because I know he never does pick and roll at the beginning of the show. He always waits till, the end. But we're going to do the pick and roll first, Kenny. And I don't
Okay.
have all the fancy music that Eric has, the it's time for pick and
And
roll.
roll.
So, so yeah, pick and roll. We have the 1986 AP MVP voting. 1986 NFL AP MVP voting. The choices of
Mm.
players. I mean, this is an incredible list. Lawrence Taylor, Eric Dickerson, Dan Marino, John Elway,
Mm.
Joe Montana,
Mm-hmm.
Walter Payton, and Jerry Rice. Those were all the guys that were leading the voting for 1986 MVP voting.
Wow.
And we got to put them in order from 1 to 7. I mean, this is a list. So, James, if you're playing at home, I'm expecting a list from you to be put up there at any time. And you too, Eric. If you're watching, the wedding must be boring.
I know, right?
Or either that, somebody walked out. But, if they do, in fact, get married, congratulations. But here is my list. I go first today. I don't know if it was my turn or if it was Eric's turn, but you're here, so I will go first. And at number 7, I have, well, first of all, his numbers are 59.4% completions, 61,361 yards. That was a 7.3 per attempt. 420 touchdowns, 252 interceptions. He was a 9-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All Pro, 1 MVP, and he's won 2 Offensive Player of the Years. There's all these trophies that come from everywhere. Um, I added it up, and it looked like 2. And no Super Bowls. And that is really why I put him at number 7, and it is Dan Marino.
Oh, okay.
Dan Marino.
Okay.
And he's at number 7 because I put Eric Dickerson ahead of him.
Okay.
He had 6 Pro Bowls, 5 All Pro, so 5 times he was the best at his position. 3 Offensive Player of the Years, no MVPs, no Super Bowls. So I have him entrenched at number 6 with his 13,259 yards, 4.4 for an average, and 90 touchdowns. I just thought with those 5 All Pro being number 1 at your position 5 times is a lot. And I weighed that over Dan Marino, mostly because he's a Miami Dolphin too. So you can enjoy last in that one. Number 5, I put John Elway. Yeah, those gaudy numbers that Dan Marino had, it had a lot of records. But when it came down to it, I just think that the 2 Super Bowls that Elway won and the Super Bowl MVP that Elway won, were just slightly better, than Dan Marino. 2 Super Bowls outweighs the 3 All Pros that Marino won for me. I like champions, so I went with John Elway at number 5. He had 51,475 yards, 7.1 average, 300 touchdowns, 226. Didn't have those touchdowns like Dan Marino had, but he did have the hardware in Super Bowls. So I went with him at number 5. Number 4, this is where it started really getting very difficult. I put Walter Payton at number 4, 16,726 yards, 4.4 per carry, 110 touchdowns. He had 9 All Pro, 9 Pro Bowls, 5 All Pro. So again, those All Pros come into effect, and he had a Super Bowl, 2 MVPs, and 2 times Offensive Player of the Year, which happened to be those two MVPs. Certainly a fantastic player, but I couldn't put him ahead of any of these three guys, and I'm not sure I have them in the right order because these three just, to me, I think they're the best at their position, except for one guy, and I'll get to him later. But I put Lawrence Taylor at number 3. And like I said, I don't know if that's right. I could just as easily put him at number 1, but 184 games played, 142 sacks, 10 Pro Bowls, 8 All-Pro, 2 Super Bowls, 1 MVP, 3 Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, this guy just destroyed offenses, destroyed them. I think he's the best defensive player of all time. Now, if I would have did this list right now, probably would have put him at number 1, just saying that. All right, I made the list earlier, and at the time, I went with somebody else. And at number 2, I put Jerry Rice, the best receiver of all time. I mean, what this guy has done, I'm not sure he belongs at number 2. He might belong at number 1 as well. 22,895 yards, 14.8 yards per catch, 100, and I can't read my writing. What is that? 197 touchdowns. Those are quarterback numbers. That's insane to me. When I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, oh, that's a quarterback, right? No, that is the best receiver to ever play the game and probably ever will play the game. I mean, he was just amazing. 13 Pro Bowls, 10 All-Pro, more than anybody on this list. When you're the best at your position 10 times, it makes me wonder if he should be number 1. 3 Super Bowls, 3 of them, 1 MVP, 2 Offensive Player of the Year, and a Super Bowl MVP. That's just insane, And I put Joe Montana as number 1. And when you look at his numbers, yeah, it's not the best of all time, with those yards because he played in a different era. 40,551. If he played now, what, double? 4 Super Bowls, 8 Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pro, 2 MVPs, 2 Offensive Player of the Year, 3 Super Bowl MVPs. He lost one of them out to who? To who? I mean, the numbers are incredible. 273 touchdowns, 139 interceptions. He had a 63.2 pass percentage. I mean, really? That is way more than Dan Marino and John Elway. I mean, you're talking about 4 percentage points, which is a lot when you think about it, the amount of passes. That is very, very far away. So they had to be above that. He had to be above that. I mean, I consider him the second best quarterback of all time, behind Tom Brady. But there's an argument to be made here. Okay? Now, this is why I wanted to put Lawrence Taylor at number 1 or not. Because when you think about Joe Montana and Jerry Rice being basically on the same team for a little bit, right? So does that kind of split the difference? I looked at him objectively, and it was very difficult, and this is what I came out with. Do I think Joe Montana is the second best player of all time? I don't think so. But when you compare the numbers and you see what he did in the era that he did it, I'm gonna go with that because I think his numbers would have been a whole lot better. Whole lot better. I don't know. Can he prove me wrong?
Well, it is a sad, sad day that today and only today I have to jump off Team Ron. I have to distance myself from Team Ron. Okay, Team Ron. Okay, and how disrespectful can you be? I'm gonna
Oh,
give you the correct list. Okay,
oh.
Ron. Okay, Ron. I'm going to
Wait.
give you
Did
the
you just step
correct
into
list.
Eric's body or something like that?
I am going to give you. You are disrespectful tonight. I am going to give you the correct list.
Okay,
Okay,
bring it. Bring it, Kenny.
number 7, Eric Dickerson. Okay, he should be number 7. Number 6, Dan Marino. Dan Marino. Come on, man. Number 5, John Elway. Okay, I'll give him number 5. Number 4, Joe Montana. Okay, number 3, Jerry Rice. Okay,
Oh
number 3,
no!
Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice. Number 2, the greatest defensive player of all time, Lawrence Taylor. Okay, okay. That leaves number 1, the number 1 running back of all time, Mr. Sweetness, Walter Payton. Okay? How could you? Where did you have Walter Payton? Where did you have Walter Payton? What number
I
you
had
have?
him at number 4 where he belongs.
Number 4.
Where he belongs.
Number 4.
Yeah.
We're talking about Walter Payton here.
Yep.
We're talking about Walter Payton, who can see the hole. Boom, boom, boom. Greatest running back of all time.
You know what? I'd say he's second best. Barry Sanders, the best.
Okay. All right. He would be my second best, but okay. All right.
Right.
They can flip flop. They can flip flop.
You know, and that's the problem with this list, right? You have 4 guys. No, you have 4 guys.
Right? Yeah. Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, outside of Tom Brady, Joe Montana, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, he was considered the best.
Yeah.
Okay. Lawrence Taylor is the best defensive player to play the game. You may argue that it's Sanders or Reggie White.
Oh, the minister of defense.
But LT is definitely the best of his position.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was a menace. He blew up offenses, and and then Jerry Rice is just the best. I mean, those 10 All Pros show.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what the tough thing about it. And I had a tough time
Yeah.
with, like I said, the top 4 is where I said that this is where the problem starts. because you're looking at these 4 unbelievable talents,
and you're
and
like,
it's like, where do they fit in history? And this is why I said, well, do I think Joe Montana is the second best player of all time? Because I certainly think Jerry Rice is the best receiver of all time, and I certainly think that LT is the best. I think he's the best defensive player of all time.
most definitely.
So here's where the problem was, and with Walter Payton, I don't think he was the second. I don't think he was the best running back. So that kind of hurt him. Even though Joe Montana, I don't think is the best quarterback either. So maybe it should be Rice and LT ahead of the other 2. And that's why I said, no, Emmett is not the best. Please.
No.
Please.
No.
Please, sorry.
Stop it, James. Stop it.
I'm not even sure I'd have Emmett in my top 5 running backs.
No.
Although, class act, and I would love to have him on my team. Believe me, I love Emmett Smith, but I don't think he's the best, or the second, or the third, or the 4th. Maybe he can be number 5.
Yeah, maybe number 5.
Maybe. But so we didn't really have it much different. You had Marino and Dickerson flip-flop from me.
Yeah.
And the top 4, like I said, it could have gone any way.
You're right. Anyway.
And, You know, it's very difficult when you do a list like this and you have those names. Like that's an insane list. No, no. I mean, no, James. The all-time rushing leader is not top three. No, he played like a million more games than people. Like Barry is number one, Walter Payton is number two.
Yes,
Wait,
yes.
isn't there a guy named Joe Brown or something like that?
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, come on. You know, and there's some other guys in there,
Yeah.
you know. It's like outside of hitting kids, Adrian Peterson. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yep.
See,
Allegedly.
when the cat's away, the mice play.
Yep.
There we go. So that is the pick and roll. James, yes, staying healthy does count for something. Trent Dilfer stayed healthy.
Mm.
Is he the second best? He's got a Super Bowl. So that puts him ahead of Dan Marino, right? Sorry, Miami. Not really, but I guess I won't be getting any Christmas cards from Miami.
Exactly. Nope. No Christmas cards from Miami.
Or Emmitt Smith fans, for that matter.
Yeah.
I guess, James, you're not sending me a Christmas card?
Yeah.
I love it. Love it. Love it. It is time for some NBA. Let's do. Look, we got the big dog in the house. We have to talk about NBA, right?
Oh yeah.
And what is the big news in NBA? It has to do with the USA basketball team, Kenny.
Mhm.
Is it smart for the USA basketball, I guess, team to want LeBron, Curry, and Anthony Davis for 2024? What do you think about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Because you know
Especially
what?
after what we saw in the
FIFA? Oh,
the FIBA.
terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. But you know what? No one is interested in winning a gold medal anymore.
No.
No. They'd like to go to the All-Star team, the All-Star game.
Yeah.
But win a gold medal? Nobody's interested anymore.
Right.
Nobody's interested anymore.
LeBron is still interested in that.
Yeah,
And I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
He loves to represent his country.
Yes. But these players want their summer off. You know, they want to party during the summer.
Yep.
They want to do this. They want to do that. They want to
Still
sleep. They want to relax.
With a pistol in the hand. Some of those players like to do that.
You're right, with this big, this little pistol like that.
The little one.
Little one.
Pistol.
Little pistol. Fits right in the
know?
palm of my hand. Little.
I mean, that's what they spend their time doing, right?
Yeah, right.
You know, and I get on LeBron a lot, right? I mean, everybody knows I get on LeBron a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But when you really look at things, like he is a good role model.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like he has reasons for everything he does, right?
Yes.
And he loves to play for his country. He does love it. You know, he's actually, and it pains me to even say it. He's actually a good guy.
Yeah.
Oof. Look, see how you even got some tears because it hurt so much to say it.
Better you than me. Better you than me. Better you than me.
But like, you know, when you look, yeah, you want the youth to be there and take the reins, right? But nobody's taking the reins.
No.
Nobody's taking the reins.
Nobody.
Like you still have LeBron, Curry. I don't know about Anthony Davis. I mean, he might be broken by the time he gets there.
No.
You know, but it's who would you want your country's team to be up to? Wouldn't you want those guys?
Yes, but the simple fact is we don't have anyone to play center. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We don't have a Patrick Ewing. We don't have a David Robinson. We don't have a Joker. We don't have an Embiid.
No,
we have an Anthony Davis that doesn't even like to play center, likes to play power forward.
Why not Rob Williams?
Oh, that'd be great. But he's not going to go to the Olympics because they want him to stay healthy.
Yeah,
They want him to take off
but
the
this is the
summer.
problem.
Yeah.
This is the problem. We don't have that Shaquille O'Neal anymore.
Nope. We don't have that David
So
Robinson.
so does USA even will USA be able to win the gold?
We have so many international players that are so good. Look at Luka.
Yeah.
He averaged a triple-double in FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
He averaged a
He's
triple-double.
ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
He is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It's that supermodel. It's that supermodel thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're married to a supermodel or your mom's a supermodel, you're a great player. You're a great
That's
player.
right.
You're a great
Yeah,
player.
because you're loving life, right?
Exactly. You're a great player. Yeah. Tom Brady was married to a supermodel. What happened? Luka's mom, supermodel. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him.
Right. So it is a scary thought that the other countries are now moving ahead of us.
Yeah.
It is a scary thought, and and so it's kind of a desperate move to go after LeBron and Curry and Davis, right?
Yeah.
It is a desperate move because you have nothing to fall back on, and you have to show your dominance over the game. And I don't know if you can do that anymore because you're not dominant.
No. And we don't
Because
have
guys
dominant
like
players.
Luka and the Joker, those are more dominant players. And Giannis, they're more dominant.
More dominant.
So
And this year, Giannis is working out with Akeem Olajuwon.
yeah,
In the offseason.
yeah, we know how that turns out, right?
This guy's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah,
Unstoppable. The last person who worked out with Akeem Olajuwon was deemed the greatest NBA player on the planet. And that was LeBron James.
wait.
Yeah. When he was in Cleveland, right after Cleveland.
The second greatest, right? The second greatest? Second greatest.
Okay.
Scottie Pippen was number one.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
No.
Wait,
It's Michael,
wait,
of
what?
course. Come on, Michael.
Ron.
Michael rowed his boat ashore 6 times.
Ron. I don't even want to get into my Michael Jordan conspiracy theory. Okay, all right. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to save that for another show. Okay. Right.
Not for nothing, Kenny. I still think Magic is better.
Thank you.
Than LeBron.
Michael, I had the
I
flu.
still think Kareem is better than LeBron.
Michael,
and I still think Larry is better than LeBron.
Michael, I had the flu Jordan. Yeah. Damn flu. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he had the flu or not. He still lit it up. All right, it's time to move on, Kenny. We gotta talk about this interesting story in the NHL. Mike Babcock, should he be fired from the Columbus Blue Jackets for violating players' privacy by asking them to view their photos in their phone? The players are coming to his side, to be honest with you. Boone Jenner, the captain of the Blue Jackets, said that we were talking about family, and he wanted to see pictures of my family, and he showed me pictures of his family, and he looked through my phone, and so I think, was it blown out of proportion? I mean, it's a lot of he said and speculation, and and I don't know. Look, he's got a bad reputation about how to handle players, right? I mean, he's an old school kind of coach, the hard line kind of thing. And that's not acceptable these days. Personally, I think it should be acceptable. Like, these guys need discipline because when you start thinking about it, look at all the problems that athletes are having in social aspects. When you had a coach, and football was known for it, right? You get those
Mm-hmm.
tough coaches, like
Mm-hmm.
Bill Parcells, and all of that, Mike Ditka. You had to toe the line.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill Belichick is like that. You have to toe the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't run your mouth. You can't do things stupid, because then you're just not on the team after that. Now, if if Jenner is saying it correctly, then why is everybody making more out of it than what it actually is? And several other players came to his side. But where there's smoke, there's fire. We all know this from all of the stories that we talk about. Now, is there players that are complaining about him doing that? That's the question. And
Yeah.
he's getting blasted on shows, like on the NHL Network and ESPN and stuff like that. All these hockey experts are blasting him. And I don't know if it's warranted or not. I mean, to me, if you're saying, "Oh, let me see your phone. I want to see the pictures so I get to know who you are," I mean, you can just say no.
Yeah.
And then if he puts you in the doghouse for it, then you have a gripe, right?
Yeah. No
But
doubt
if,
about it.
oh yeah, sure, here you go, and he looks through your photo. Well, what is the big deal if he wants to see your family, right? I mean, if it is just that, I mean, we're not going to know unless there's an actual video of him doing this, right? I mean, when you think about it, and then we'd have to see his phone. So I mean, I don't. I think it's getting blown out of proportion because personally, I think if they didn't want him to see the photos, they can just say no, and that's that. And you just keep it professional.
Mhm.
And I think it's just getting blown out of proportion, like most stories do. That's the way I feel. I don't know.
That's the way I feel too. Way out of proportion. If he asks you for your phone, oh yeah, see, okay, this is what kind of man I am. I'm a family man. I'm this. I'm that.
Right.
Just don't show him the pictures you don't want him to see. You know what I'm saying? That's all
Yeah,
you gotta
like
do.
those
That's all
those
you gotta
those,
do.
those pics
Don't show him
that you send into some,
yeah. Just don't show him the pictures where you in a club and
right.
you know what I'm saying. Just don't show him that. Hey coach, yeah, I was here fishing and yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
Show him the good food. Show him the good phone, not the bad phone, because we know NBA players
Yeah,
have
that's
two
another thing.
phones.
You can have two phones.
Two phones. Show him the good
You
phone, not
know,
the bad phone.
there are other athletes that had two phones, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Show him the good phone, not the bad phone.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Put that in
know,
your pocket.
Hey,
Yeah. I was
Tom, can
fishing
I
right
see
here.
your phone? Sure.
Yeah. I was fishing right here. Yeah.
Wait, don't you have another one? Oh, I did, but I lost it.
Yeah, I lost it. Yeah. I can't remember the code. I can't remember the code. I can't remember the code.
Right. One of those type deals. All right, so let's move on to some of that summer sport. Major League Baseball. Look, there's some things happening in Major League Baseball, and I didn't think the Red Sox ownership had the spine to
Mm,
do what they did.
mm.
I didn't think they had the spine, but they fired Chaim Bloom. They fired him. Now, do you think that Alex Cora should go too?
Yes. Yes. It's time. I was a big supporter of Alex Cora, but is his time's to go.
They're in last. Well, not
Yeah,
in last place, but you might as well be last place.
yeah,
And by the year is over, they'll probably be in last place.
yeah,
I mean, they're getting swept by everybody at this point.
yeah. It's time for him to go.
Yeah, I
How many
agree.
how
Um,
many how many years has he been manager of the Red Sox?
oh, too many.
Is
I
it
think it's
has it been
5.
5 years?
I guess he had a
5 years.
year off
Yep, 5 years.
for some cheating thing.
He he's won one world championship
Yeah, because he cheated.
and exactly and one pennant.
Yeah,
So it's time for him to go.
yeah.
Time for him to
I
go.
mean, he is. Look, I think, I think Bloom to Cora, everybody in between needs to go.
Yeah.
Needs to go.
Hmm.
And they fired Bloom, which is like the best thing that happened to the Red Sox this year, because look he did nothing. Like the payroll that they have this year, and he put together a horrible team. Horrible. He overpaid for like almost every single player that he has for their numbers. Almost everyone.
Yep.
And the Red Sox will be lucky if they are able to keep Devers. And I think that has a lot to do with it because look, I've said this before that when you don't even bother trying to sign
Mm.
Bogarts, who was Devers' best friend on the team, just saying, it is an accident waiting to happen. And then when you put together the team that performs so poorly from top to bottom,
Yeah.
I mean, Devers had 31 home runs, and it's a bad year for him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
this team looked bad, and now you have to recuperate your dignity as a team in an organization. And the only way you can do that is clean house. You have to clean house.
Yeah.
Um, Now, the best move for the Red Sox probably is to go after Veritek for the manager spot.
Mm.
You know, because now you need somebody that these players are going to want to play for. And that's what they should have already done, to be honest with you. They should
Yep.
have fired Cora already
Yep.
and put Veritek in the position of manager so that way you can find out what you got. Because I don't think this team was playing hard at all. At all. So you don't know what you have right now. With a managerial change, I think you'll find out what you got. Because if you can't play for Veritek, you don't
You got
belong
problems.
on this team.
Yeah. Yeah. You got problems.
Period.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, look, you lost a lot of the heart and soul of the team, right? The last
Mhm.
couple of years. I mean, when you go back 3 years, you're losing Poppy, you're losing Pedroia, you lost Bogarts. You know, you lost a lot of those dirt dogs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to get that back. If you can't play hard, you don't belong in Boston. I mean, if there's one thing that you can say about any New England team is that they played hard, right?
That's right.
No matter how bad they are, this team did not play hard.
Mm.
And that infuriates fans.
Yep.
There's nothing that infuriates fans more than that.
Yep.
At least in this area, because we expect better.
Yes.
Expect better. So yeah, I think they should get rid of Cora yesterday, or last year, or the year before.
Mhm.
Also, Scherzer, Max Scherzer, done for the season. Um, how bad is this for the Texas Rangers?
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. They're 82. They're 82 and 64. They still have pitching. They have Chapman, which is 5-4. They have Bradford's 4-1. They still have pitching. They're up. It doesn't matter. Rangers are still in good.
Yeah, they got a battle on their hands with Houston and Seattle in that division. I believe the Texas Rangers are still in second in that division.
Mhm.
I did not see if they were in the wild card spot or not. But you got to think that they can hold on if they can grab that spot. I mean, it's going to be like Tampa Bay in the mix or Baltimore, whoever fails to win that division. But and then there's Toronto. I mean, you got to think that they're going to be the third team, right?
Yep.
I mean, I don't see the Red Sox or anybody else for that matter being able to catch up to them.
Me neither.
So it's really just about Seattle. So you got to hold off Seattle. That's it.
Yeah.
So you might be right on that. They might hold them off. And if either team gets in, it's good for baseball.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's real
Because
good.
it's a different look. I mean, we're not going to have the Red Sox or the Yankees in there. It's a different look this season. Baltimore is a factor.
Yep.
Baltimore. So it'll be interesting down the stretch which team can get in there. Toronto, Seattle, Texas. One of those teams are going to be out, and two of those are going to be in, and that's got to be good for baseball, especially Canada. It's got to be rooting for Toronto. I mean, you have to hope that they get in for Canada's sake. So, but Scherzer done for the season for the Texas Rangers. Kenny is saying that they'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
They'll be okay. They got a pretty good squad there.
Yeah, they do. They
They're
really do.
looking good. They're looking good.
They got good pitching too. So
Yeah, I mean, you got to think. The next 3-4 years are going to be pretty good for Texas and Seattle. I mean, that looks good. Looks good. So Baltimore, I figure they'll try to probably trade everybody next year. So, all right. You know what it's time for? It is time for starting five, Kenny. I don't have the graphics like Eric does. He wanted to keep those a secret, so I don't know how to access them. So we got the starting five best Dominican MLB players of all time, Kenny. Best Dominican of all time. I go first, and then maybe we flip flop 5-1 and honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions, where is my list of honorable mentions? I gotta find my list. So I've got Rafael Devers as an honorable mention.
Okay.
I didn't have him in mostly because his numbers just aren't there yet. Also Juan Soto. Juan Soto. His numbers aren't quite there yet. So, but those two, they could get there. They could get there. I have Vladimir Guerrero.
Vlad. Okay.
As
All
an
right.
honorable mention.
Okay, Vlad. Okay.
And then I have three guys that I left off the list completely. And you'll know why once I read them off.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
A-Rod.
Who?
A-Rod. Alex Rodriguez, in case you didn't know who A-Rod was. I left him off the list. I left Manny Ramirez off the list. And I left Sammy Sosa off the list. I don't like my steroid guys. Sorry. Eric knows.
Oh,
This is our third season. That's not a surprise to anybody. Not a surprise. So I left them off the list. Off the list. So I have five other guys. that are very capable to be on this list. You have any honorable mentions?
No.
No honorable mentions.
No. No.
All right. So my five.
Okay,
My
I'm ready.
number 5.
No, I'm ready.
Adrian Beltre. Yes, Adrian Beltre. And 477 career home runs, 286 batting average, over 1,500 runs, and over 1,700 RBI. 4-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, 5 Gold Gloves, 2 Platinum Gloves. Platinum. That is my number 5. Who's your number 5, Kenny?
Oh, the disrespect tonight. My number 5 is Alex Rodriguez. Okay? All right? Okay. 14-time All-Star, 3-time MVP. Okay? All right? And you know why I put and the other reason why you know why I put him at number 5? I don't like the way he treated J-Lo. Okay? I don't like the way he treated J-Lo.
So he shouldn't even be on your list for 2 reasons. That and the steroids.
I'd put him at number 4, but I don't like what he did to J-Lo. How would you get rid of J-Lo? She's J-Lo. What's going on? What is going she's J-Lo.
Ben is apparently better. Well, you know what they say about steroids? When you take steroids to get bigger, something else gets smaller.
This is Family Show, Ron. This is a family show, Ron. This is a family show. This is a family show. Okay, right? I apologize for Ron.
Going off the rails now.
Going off the rails.
The cat's away.
Going off the rails. Going off the rails. Sky.
Look, Eric is Tom, and we are Jerry. All right. Number 4 for me. Number 4. I got to find. I'm like all lost here. I'm going different pages. I got my notes all over the place. This is what happens. You know, I have to take more notes now. All right. So number 4, I have the Big Papi David Ortiz. Now, just even with those numbers, like look at these numbers: 541 home runs, 286 for a power hitter. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's solid, right?
Mm-hmm.
1,400 plus runs, 1,700 plus RBI, 10 All-Stars, 7 Silver Sluggers, 3 World Series, and a World Series MVP. I mean, when you throw in the clutch hitting, there's no better clutch hitter in baseball ever.
Greatest DH of all time.
Oh God, yeah. And you know what he meant to the team goes way beyond the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like think of those years he had to keep Manny in check.
Woo!
I mean, that's an MVP right there in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I had David Ortiz, number 4, the Big Papi.
Mm.
And that's saying something when he's number 4.
Okay.
That means the list above him. Woo!
Okay.
Who's your number 4?
All right. My number 4 would be Pedro Martinez.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All of the pain. How?
What?
How is he so low?
What? Low? Are you kidding me? I'm getting this from the man who put Big Papi at 4. Ton of disrespect, Ron, tonight. Ton of disrespect, Ron.
That is disrespectful. Putting him at number 3 is disrespectful. Wait, you put him at what number? 4.
Who?
4.
Pedro Martinez?
Pedro.
Yeah, number 4.
4.
4.
There are not 3. You'd be hard to find 3 players that are better than him in any sport.
Stop.
Saying
Stop.
you're out of your mind. This is Jared Goff all over again.
Wait, what?
That's for you, Eric. Had to throw that out there because I know he'd want one Jared Goff comment. One.
Man.
There it is. All right. So you got Pedro at number 4. Wow, I can't wait to see this list. Can't wait. All right, number 3, I have Juan Marichal at number 3. At number 3. Marichal's numbers 243 and 142, 2.89 ERA. That's pretty good, right? 2.89. Still someone better than that. 2,303 strikeouts, 10 All-Stars, and an ERA title. He has 0 championships, but he was the original Pedro Martinez before there was a Pedro Martinez. So he is my number 3. Who do you got number 3 there, big dog?
Man. What disrespect from Ron tonight. At 3, I got Albert Pujols.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
The man single-handedly saves baseball.
From all the steroid use?
Yes. Yeah.
He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is one of the reasons, because he's never been attached to anything.
Never.
That guy is a large man.
Never, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's a big boy. Like when you compare him to like players in other sports, he's like Grunk-like.
Yeah. He got guns too, yo. He got guns.
Yeah, but he stays healthier than Grunk.
Yep.
And he was effective till the end, right? I mean, he's a fantastic player. He's a fantastic player. That's why I put him at number 2, Kenny. I had him at number 2.
Finally.
When you look at his numbers, now listen to these numbers, Kenny. This is the amazing thing about Albert Pujols.
Go ahead, let me know.
703 career home runs.
Yep.
With that, 296 batting average. So higher batting average than Poppy.
Yep.
Higher home runs. He also had 1,900 plus runs scored. 2,200 RBI, way ahead of Poppy's numbers, right?
Way ahead of Poppy's numbers.
11 All-Stars, a Rookie of the Year, 6 Silver Sluggers, 3 MVPs, 2 World Series, 2 Gold Gloves, so he can throw the leather as well, and a batting title.
Yeah.
That is one of the best players of all time, right there. One of the best. I would definitely have to put him in definitely top 10, I think. I mean, I could name off a lot of pitchers that I would put higher than him.
Yeah.
But when you talk about hitters, I don't know if I'd put a hitter ahead of him. I mean, what? Willie Mays? Hank Aaron?
Ooh, that's some good company.
Maybe?
That's some good.
I mean, that's where I put him. That's where I put him.
Wow, that's some good company. That is some good company right there, boy. All right, Albert Pujols.
So I had Albert Pujols number 2. Who do you have at number 2, Kenny?
Number 2, I have Manny Ramirez. Because he has the second sweetest stroke of all time. The way he swings the bat was poetic. And the only person who swung it better is Ken Griffey Jr.
I agree with that. I agree with that. The problem that I have with Manny
Oh,
is the steroid use. It is the steroid use. And that's the problem I have with Manny Ramirez. And it's not so much that everybody was doing it, because almost a lot of them were.
what are you talking about? What are you talking? It was steroids. He
Yeah,
was
well,
he
he
was
got
he was
busted
he,
for it
he
3
was
times.
taking medication because him and his wife was trying to have a baby. Okay, all right,
BS.
all right,
BS.
all right, all right. He was taking medication. Him and his wife was trying to conceive. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. That's what it was right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
Okay.
just like Gary Sheffield, I thought it was lotion, man. I thought it was lotion. I don't know. I thought Gary Sheffield. I thought it was lotion. Yeah, he gave me some, but I thought it was lotion, man. I thought it was lotion. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was ashy, and I thought it was lotion. So I.
Sure it was. All right, number 1 on my list. Look, number 1 on the list was none other than Pedro Martinez. I don't care when Pedro would have pitched. I don't care when he would have pitched. He would have been great. And if not for health, he would have probably broken so many records of the modern day pitchers. You know, look, nobody's going to touch, those pitchers that played like every 3 days,
Mhm, mhm.
Those numbers are just ridiculous, and today's game doesn't allow that. But Pedro had 219 wins, 100 losses, a 2.93 ERA, 3,154 strikeouts, 8 All-Stars, 3 Cy Young Awards, 5 ERA titles, 5 of them, and a World Series. And oh, by the way, there was one year he won the pitching Triple Crown.
Yep, yeah, yep.
Like, his numbers are ridiculous. I saw him pitch a game where he could not throw a fastball because he had a little rubber arm, and all he did was throw changeups the entire game. No curveballs,
Mm,
no fastballs, just changeups, and still shut the team down.
yep.
Like, he was absolutely amazing, and he'd make a great bullfighter too. When Don Mattingly, not Don Zimmer, charged after him, and he kind of like did a little sidestep and woo,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
you know.
I remember
Everybody
that.
said he threw him to the ground, but he just moved to the side and just kind of let him go by him.
Right, like,
It was the bullfight move.
right. I
Bullfight
remember
move.
that. I remember that. That's
And nobody's
iconic,
charging him. What do you expect the guy to do?
right?
But it is what it is. But Pedro, to me, one of the greatest pitchers of all time. And again, there's a lot of pitchers that Walter Johnson, stuff like that. There's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah, there is.
But he ranks right up there with the greatest. Right up there with the greatest. And I put him number 1. Who do you got number 1?
Oh, I got number 1, the greatest DH of all time, Big Papi, David Ortiz. Like you said, 10-time All-Star, 7-time Silver Slugger, greatest home run hitter of all time. His bat was on. Sweet.
The clutchness is just in his blood, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember years of watching Carl Yastrzemski, who was a great left fielder, right?
Yes, yes.
And one of the greatest players. He won a Triple Crown, the whole bit.
Mm-hmm.
He was great. But I'll never forget, every time he came up in a clutch spot, he would pop up.
Yep.
Guaranteed pop up, right?
Yep.
When Papi comes up, it's almost a guaranteed hit or a
Guaranteed.
walk or a home run, whatever it may be, he's going to get on base.
Yeah, because that's what he did. That's just what he did.
I mean, it was uncanny. Like he just had that thing.
Yeah.
That thing. So I'm not upset that you put him up there. I would not have put him up there ahead of Pedro and, of course,
Albert Pujols.
but I can understand it. I understand. I'm not sure anybody else understands, but I get it.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
And you know that Eric would not have him at number one.
Oh no, not at all.
He would probably have A-Rod number one.
Yeah, right.
So, but that is the starting five. As we cruise along, you are watching Sports Unfolded, Season 3, Episode 37, I Killed Eric. That's why you don't see him here. So, you're watching us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting, Facebook at Rhode Island Broadcasting, and now Kick at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Also, Twitch at RI_broadcasting. And, of course, Twitter at Broadcasting RI. And I'll tell you, what a great show this has been so far. I think he's jealous. You have something to say, Kenny?
Oh, I got a question, Ron.
Yeah, what?
How can these lovely people sponsor our show?
Oh, that's great, Kenny. Oh, I love it. Stepping into that Eric's role. Well, it's simple, Kenny. All you have to do is just send us an email at, what is it? ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com, and we can send you out all the information to sponsor the show. But it's simple as going to your local coffee shop and buying a nice cup of coffee and a chocolate donut, and that's as simple as it gets, right? So do that right now. Sponsor the show. Look, don't hesitate to share the show. Please do. We could use that. Follow us on all that social media that we just went through, and that's been going down on the ticker way down the bottom. And also, please, by all means, share some bits and stars, so that way it helps us, do these wonderful shows constantly and bring it to you. Because, look, we the best. Whether it's me, Eric, or the big dog. And I'm hoping that the big dog brings back that the NBA shows. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to be doing the NBA preview show, and I'm sure you're going to be there for that, Kenny. We're going to have the NHL preview show. If you missed it, you got to check out the NFL preview show, because that is the best.
Yes.
The best.
Yep.
So check that out on Rhode Island Broadcasting for sure. Yeah, Kenny, like we're getting there. We got split decision now. Split decision. So the split decision is simply a more than likely thing, right? So you give two things, and the other has to answer what is more likely. And I get to start it out today, and I'm really interested in this one. Kenny, what is more likely? The Boston Bruins trading for a top-line center, or the Boston Celtics trading for a starting point guard? More likely. That's a good one.
I'm gonna have to go with the Bruins. I'm gonna have to go with the Bruins getting a center. I'm gonna have to go with the Bruins.
Because they need it more, right?
Yeah, they needed more.
Yeah, they need more. The only problem with that is the salary cap crunch. And
Yeah.
that's why I don't think it's even possible. I don't think it's possible. That's why I'd say the Celtics trading for a point guard. Not to mention that Boston might be a little cheap this year. They might be a little cheap,
Mm,
because
yeah.
I don't think they can put out that.
No, they don't.
Um, and I think that it's possible that the Celtics do it mid-season.
Mid-season?
Yeah,
Yeah. I, I, I,
yeah.
I don't see it right now. They got their hands in a pot for forwards and centers, but no point guards. I don't know the reason why they don't want a point
Yeah.
guard because they do need one. The starting one.
And James says that the
See,
Boston Bruins are
see,
more likely to trade.
yeah. See,
I
see,
mean, there's a lot of buzz right now. There's a
James, you're
lot of
finally
buzz
right.
on that. I think it's
James,
wishful thinking.
James, you're finally right. You're finally right.
So that's good. Good answer. I love it. I love it. So what do you got? What do you got for me?
Okay. What's more likely? The Lions going 2-0 or Cincinnati going 0-2?
Ooh.
Ryan, what you think?
Who's the Lions playing this week?
Seattle.
Oh, Seattle struggled. More likely Detroit goes 2-0 than because I don't think Cincinnati is going to lose.
Okay.
But I think Detroit has a better chance of winning and going 2-0.
Okay.
That's what I like. Yeah,
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I think they both will probably win that game. So,
All right.
so
Okay.
Detroit will win, and so will Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. Okay.
No, but Detroit
All right.
goes 2-0, and Cincinnati would be 1-1. So I would think that. So James, if you're there, absolutely. Oh, there he goes. He thinks
Yeah.
Detroit also.
Yeah.
So very good. Thank you, James. All right, my second one, Kenny.
Okay.
You're gonna like this one.
Okay.
What is more likely? Zach Wilson throwing for 15 picks this season, or the Jets winning 10 games? What is more likely?
Whew. Mm. Mm.
Zach Wilson throwing 15 picks,
Ooh. Wow.
or the Jets winning 10 games?
Man. Whew.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna have to say Zach Wilson throwing 15 picks.
That is more likely. Zach Wilson.
More likely. He had
All
17.
right.
He had 17 last year.
James agrees with
James
you.
agrees. Yeah, he had
James
17
agrees
last year.
with you. Yep.
Maybe he'll
Yeah.
go 3 less.
Yeah. But that's it. That's if he can even stay healthy, right? I
Yeah.
mean, that offensive line, we talked about it. We talked about that offensive line in our preview show. And that was the one thing that everybody was afraid of in the preview show. And now that they don't have Aaron there to make up for those mistakes, this could be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And James, you might be right. I'm not sure they can get to 8. And I had them go into the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think
But
they
that
can
was
get 8
with
either.
Aaron.
Yeah.
Even though I said that Aaron would get hurt in the game 1, and he did. Just saying. All right, what's your other one?
All right. You ready for this one? More likely, the Detroit Pistons win the NBA Finals or the Grizzlies don't make the playoffs.
Well, I don't think the Detroit Pistons has a chance in hell to win an NBA Finals. I'm not even sure they'll make the playoffs. I don't think they will. So I would have to say more likely that Memphis won't make the playoffs, especially without the jaw for like a good portion of it. So I
Okay.
go with Memphis Grizzlies not making the playoffs.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. All
There
right.
we go. That is our split decision.
Okay. All
So
right.
James, what do you think about that one? What do you think about that one, James? More likely that the Detroit Pistons. Yeah. See, so he agrees. Oh, he agreed with everybody
Wow.
on there.
Okay.
So
Wow. All right.
so we must be doing something right, right?
I guess so.
All right. All right. All right. All right. So we've gotten through just about everything except for prediction time.
Prediction
So
time.
I know I'm running later than what Eric does, but I like to talk more. So, and when you have two people that like to talk more,
Yeah, right? Yeah, right? For real.
and like I said, the cat's away, the mice will play. So we have predictions. All right. So just to let everybody know, I don't have the graphic for the predictions, but Eric went 4-4. Chakra went 2-5 last week.
Mhm.
James and me, we went 5-3. Kenny, you went 4-3.
Oh,
So
okay.
we all gained on Eric, except for Chakra.
Oh.
So Eric is at 57%. Kenny, you're at 56%. I'm at 55%. James, you're at 52%. So you got to have a good week here. Good week. So the first predictions on 9/15, the series begins. A 3-game set with the Dodgers at Seattle Mariners. So who do you? I got the Dodgers in this one. Eric also picked the Dodgers. So what do you got, Kenny?
I got the Dodgers. I'm going with the Dodgers.
You got the Dodgers. How about you,
Mhm.
James? I know you're out there. What do you like? Dodgers at Seattle. At Seattle. All right. He's probably thinking about that. So,
Oh, you got the Dodgers.
oh, there it is. There's the
There it is.
Dodgers.
The
So we
Dodgers.
have at 9:18 the Orioles at the Houston Astros. What do you like,
Mm.
Kenny?
I was looking at this game earlier, and I like the Astros.
Yes, I went Astros as well, and so did Eric. So a clean sweep so far. Maybe James might think the Orioles. Maybe. Maybe. Is it the O's? It is the Astros. So it is the O's, but the Astros.
Astros.
All right, clean sweep again. So we have 9/17, game 2 of the WNBA playoffs. Lynx at the Sun. I've got the Sun. Eric also has the Sun. What do you got,
Mm.
Kenny?
I got the Connecticut Suns.
And Kenny has the Sun. Will it be another sweep of the Sun? Well, the Sun's pick and winning. Both me, Eric, and Kenny have the Sun, and James is going the Sun as well. So we just enlightened you.
Mm-hmm.
Enlightened Sun.
I like that. I like that.
So we all went Sun. All right, 9/17, Sunday. The
Ooh.
Kansas City Chiefs at the Jags. Who do you got in this one, Kenny?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with them Jaguars.
Kenny's got the Jags.
Chiefs 14, Jaguars 32.
Wow, in a blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going the Chiefs. I think Kelsey being there and Jones being there, I think it changes the atmosphere and it changes the dynamics. And you got to think that Tony is going to atone for his mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Atone.
A tone. I like that. Tone.
James says KC gets it done. And also, Eric said that Casey gets it done. So, Kenny, you're on an island by yourself there.
Wow, wow.
Also on Sunday, Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots. I've got the Patriots winning this game.
Mm.
I think
Okay.
I think Tua had way too much time last week, getting 3 seconds, to throw the ball. Way too much time for him to throw the ball. I don't think the Patriots give him that time.
Mm. This is a hard decision for me, but I'm going Miami.
Yeah.
I'm going Miami. I hate
Eric
to see.
also went Miami, Kenny.
I hate to see the. I hate to see the Patriots go 0-2, start 0-2, but I'm going Miami.
Yep.
17-12.
Yeah. James also went Miami, so I'm now on an island by myself. And 9-17 also in the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Who do you like?
Mm. I'm going with the Ravens. I predict them to win the Super Bowl. I'm going Ravens.
All right, the Ravens. Eric went the Ravens. Nope, Eric went Cincinnati. Sorry, and I also went Cincinnati. James, what do you got out there? Let's see if Kenny's all alone here. I got a feeling. Yeah, I got a feeling he was going to go with the Ravens.
Mm.
So James went Ravens. So 2-2 there. We
Ooh.
split.
I like that, James. I like that. 28-17. I like that. I like that. I'll take that.
Yeah, they got a lot of injuries though in Baltimore, and it is in Cincinnati. And after that, stink job.
Mm.
So 9-16 MLS. Philadelphia at Cincinnati. Philadelphia at Cincinnati. It's the number 1 team in Cincinnati going against the number 4 team, Philadelphia. I like Cincinnati in this one. And they're at home. They're the top team. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, okay. That sounds good, but I'm going with Philly.
Oh, Kenny. Kenny going Philly. All right, so James went Cincinnati as well. So let's see what happens if we can gain ground. I'm trying to think of what's different with me and Eric. And I believe his was Miami, mine is the Pats. And I think that's the only one we had different. I got to catch up to you too, Kenny. So I need a couple on you, and I might get that this week.
Mm.
Of course, that Miami Patriot game, that could go either way.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way. So I get a little nervous about those. So hopefully I can gain one on Eric and, and enjoy the win. So that just about does it, Kenny. So look out there, make sure that you follow, and sharing all the videos that we do, all the
Yes.
shows we do is so important. That's how things build up steam by sharing, and liking and commenting and I want to thank James for being out there today. You are awesome, just like always.
Always.
Sometimes a little out of your mind, just saying.
True.
But
True.
all in all, I thought it was a hell of a show. The
Yeah.
big dog, you came through.
Yeah, thank you for letting me fill in.
You were like Big Poppy in this show. You were clutch, just like Big Poppy, right? So I want to thank everybody for watching. Whether you're watching it live or you're watching it, later on. Please share the show. Tell all your friends to watch. Get on. Jump in. Comments. Hey, you can get on our list and the predictions. And you know what I forgot? We got the final thoughts.
Mhm.
So to wrap it all up, my final thought
Mhm.
is an apology. I have to say I'm sorry. Yes, Kenny, you're looking at me like that, and I get it. But I want to apologize for those few fans of the Jets. A few. They're not millions, so I can't say millions. The few fans that the Jets have, because basically a lot of them hung themselves.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
which I don't recommend. But I want to apologize because I know it's partially my fault that Aaron Rodgers got hurt in Game 1 in the first series. Um, I mean, what did he throw? One pass? So I want to apologize for anything that I may have done to cause that injury. Whether it's just the Jets' pure, dumb, horrible luck. They are cursed, and I apologize for that.
Hmm.
I'm not the one that put the curse on you.
Hmm.
Um, I know you've had butt fumbles and many other things happen, but I just want to apologize and my condolences to your season. Because it is dead.
Hmm.
So, and I'm sure James can feel the same way, and you do as well. Because we had some high hopes for the Jets this year, but I just want to say I'm sorry.
Hmm.
That's it. Kenny, you have a final thought for today?
That's deep. That's deep. It
It
takes
is.
it take it takes a big man to apologize. Big man. I salute you, John. Salute you, Ron. I salute you. My final thought is Hurricane Lee. I just want you to, from Maine to Massachusetts, a little bit of Rhode Island, just please stay safe. Let's get in front of it. If you need to go out right now before this hurricane comes. Get your water, get your food,
Get your
batteries.
surfboard.
Yeah, get your surfboard, get your battery, get your flashlights. We
Yep.
never know. We never know about hurricanes. Just
Stay
please
safe
be
out
safe.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
No, we joke
Yes.
around a lot, but
Yep.
truly, be safe out
Yep.
there.
Yep.
And you might as well just stay home and watch the show over and over again.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yep. So that is the show for this week. We're coming back next week. Eric will be here. I didn't kill him, really. Did you think I killed him? It was all the Beatles thing. It was the theme, I killed Paul. If you don't know about that, then go back and, you know, learn about, what happened with the Beatles and all their story. And it'll be good for history and music.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is the show for this week. We'll catch you next time.
I,
Have a
I,
good night, everybody.